Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the events and event handling in Tkinter. We would focus on the bind function and talk a little elaborately about the main loop. So events handling is an important part of Tkinter module. In this video, we would try to understand the basic things associated with it. And in the next video, we would see a related example. Okay. So we would try to make the program a little interactive by giving user inputs from the keyboard. So that would be very much done by the event handlers. Okay, so let's start writing the code for it. I'll write from Tkinter import star. Then I'll get my window. I'll write win equals tk. Then I'll give in a title. I'll write win.title. Let the title be event handling. Okay, so I told you I'd be telling you a little more about the main loop. So whenever you create a Tkinter application, we have always been calling the main loop, okay, at the end. So why do we call the main loop? What the main loop actually does, it checks whether an event has occurred or not. It checks for an event, occurrence of an event. So if there is some event that has occurred, then the written code, the code that the user has given, would be executed. So as the main loop has checked for an event occurrence, the program written will be executed as a response. Okay, so you need to write the code that will be executed in response to an event. Okay, so you write these functions called event handlers for the events that you use in your application. Okay. Now I would be creating a very similar event handler. For every time I press a key on the keyboard, I should get that key printed on the console. Okay, not the Tkinter window, but the console. So what I'd write is, I'll write def. So I'll have a function for that. I'll write def pressed key. And in brackets, I'll write event. I'll give event as an argument. And I'll write print event.char. So that simply completes what I just said. I want to print whatever I clicked. Okay. So now we would move to the bind function. To call an event handler whenever an event occurs on a widget or function or method, we use the bind function. Okay. The event handler is said to be bound to that event because it's called every time the event occurs. Okay. And how do we do that? We'll just write for our window win.bind. Okay. And the first parameter would be the sequence. So it's just a string of the form event name. Okay, I'll just write it down. I'll write here the event name is key. So in double quotes, I'll write key, and I should give this less than and greater than sign around it. Okay, that's how you write the event name. And this event name can be any of Tkinter's events. So there are many events in Tkinter. We have enter, leave, button 1, button 2, or key. So here it is key. And then we'll have the function name. Okay, you can see for bind, we have to give sequence and then the function. Okay, so the event handler basically. So I have pressed key. I'll write pressed key as the function. Okay, so that completes my bind function, and then I'll run the main loop. I'll write win.main loop. Now whenever the main loop would run, it will check for the event. So I have declared my event here as pressed key function. Okay, I've given it as the argument, and whenever this event will occur, what is my event? The event is the user giving an input from the keyboard by pressing a key. Okay. So whenever this event occurs, this function would be carried out. Okay. This part of code would be executed as a response to the event occurrence. Okay, so that's what should happen. Now let's check if that really happens. Whenever I click on the key, I should see that key printed on the console. Okay, let's do that. So I have this Tkinter blank screen. Okay, and I'd not do anything with the screen, but I just start typing something, and that should be typed out on the console automatically without me taking the cursor over there. Okay, so let's do that. I'll just press D, and there it is. You can see it on the console. And then you can see T, and then you can see Q, and let me press a numeric, let it be 1. I'll press shift 1. Okay, and then I can press M. Then I can give in any character. Okay, this was an semicolon and an inverted comma. So that's it about this program. I just wanted to show you how interactive Tkinter can be, and we'll see a related example in the next video. Thank you.